Welcome to the Snowboard Pro Camp live chat. We'll be on here for the next hour to talk to you guys, answer any of your snowboard questions. This is kind of a special live chat as well because I'm going to do an unboxing for you guys. So I've got a box from Union here that I'm stoked to open and share with you guys what's inside the box. I know a lot of people are getting ready for the upcoming season, so getting like lift tickets together, getting the gear all sorted out. So it's an exciting time of the year. It's almost in some ways like more exciting than the actual season. Just the whole anticipation for the weather changing, things starting to open, and all the new snowboard gear coming out for the season. So I'm stoked to check out these bindings with you guys. It's actually a pretty heavy box. I don't know everything that Union sent out, but it's a substantial box right here. So really stoked to do that. But let's get started with just some shout outs to people that got on here early. So we got Bad Riders in the chat. What's up, man? We got Chewy Socks. Thanks for hopping on. Luke Miller. We got Dean in the chat. In Motion SLB. Must be up pretty late over in Europe there. Yeah, thanks for everyone who's up late in Europe. What time is it? I guess if you're in like New Zealand or Australia, it's like first thing in the morning. But yeah, thank you guys from all over the world for coming to hang out. Kyle wants to know, how does everyone afford to travel all the time and snowboard 8 months of the year? I mean, it's all about priorities. I mean, snowboarding can be expensive for sure. You can kind of like find ways to make it more inexpensive. And I mean, when I was a younger person, like I didn't have really anything besides snowboard gear, lift tickets, and I didn't even own a car like in my 20s because I was just so focused on snowboarding. So, I mean, I guess you just got to make it a priority. But yeah, I definitely feel you too that it's getting a bit more expensive. I'm going to try to make a lot of content. I'm actually working on a video right now for snowboards on a budget. So some good inexpensive solutions so that you can get out there on the mountain. All right, we got El Sayers in the chat. We got Loic in the chat. It'd be great to hear where you guys are all from as well. We got Working Class Active from Southern California in the chat. What's up, man? Good to see you on here. Grant Bears in the chat. Oh, Chewy saying that it's 11:30 a.m. in New Zealand. Awesome. Nice. So people are just getting out to the slopes now down there. iJedi says, I already got all my gear, but still watching it for future use. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm kind of like putting together all my gear at the moment. Been doing lots of research and trying to get everything sorted out. Oh, it's 1:37 a.m. in Austria. Awesome. Well, thanks for staying up late. Blake wants to know, am I in New Zealand? Not in New Zealand yet, but heading down there in 2 weeks. So 2 Fridays from today, I'll be flying to New Zealand for a month snowboard trip. Hopefully make the most of all the spring conditions out there. Really looking forward to it. Elsair, hey, what is the best snowboard shape for an intermediate snowboarder that hasn't been snowboarding in a long time? That's a good question. So the best snowboard shape for an intermediate snowboarder that hasn't been snowboarding, it kind of depends. What do you like to do when you're snowboarding? Do you like to carve? Do you like to like go through the trees or like off the groom slopes, or are you more into the park? Maybe let me know some of the things that you like to do while snowboarding, and then that'll help me to narrow down the type of shape of board you want to get. Luke says, Snowboard Pro Camp, what do you think the nice helmet and goggles? Oh, what do you think nice helmet and goggles are? Like, is it Anon goggles with gyro helmet? The last couple seasons, I've been wearing the Anon M4s. So those are like, they've been great. They're like a really big goggle. They got the cylindrical lens, so they kind of fit pretty close to your face, and I like that cylindrical style. Anon also has the M3s now too, or they called the M3S, but there's like another like kind of more medium version. So if you don't have like a really large head. You can also, if you have a more medium shaped head, you can go for the M3s. And then I had a Smith helmet, the Smith Maze, last season. So that was my combo last year. Gavin, what's up, man? Vertigo Dreaming is watching from Philly. Awesome. Master Yoda is in Arizona. Nice. Flabbergasted in California. Chewy says, I'm so excited. Hopefully see you at Cardi's. Yeah, hopefully see you at Cardrona. Yeah, Cardrona, looks like they've gotten a bit of snow the last like month or so. So the base is getting up there a little bit. I think they're still hoping for more snow, but yeah, Cardrona the park looks really fun, and it's always fun out at Cardrona. Sebastian says, hey from Argentina, enjoying our snow season down here. Awesome, Sebastian. Yeah, I'm super jealous. Wish I could get down there and ride with you guys. Argentina, Chile, so many cool mountains down there. So maybe a trip down there next year. Hasi Lin says, still going to India. Yeah, the plan is to still do an India trip this February. So at least 3 weeks, I think, at the resort, giving us enough time to hopefully get some great snow, great weather, and explore. The resort is called Gulmarg, and it's in Kashmir, India. So looking forward to that trip. Chewy says, the other day I saw someone and thought it was you, then remembered you don't get here till September. All right, there's a Kevin lookalike. My doppelganger was in New Zealand. Well, yeah, I'll be there in a couple weeks. I'm on my way. Flabbergasted says, you thinking about getting out to Japan anytime soon? I'd love to get to Japan. With the India trip coming up, I don't think I'll make it out there this winter, but you never know. Maybe things will change. El Ser, I like to carve sometimes, trees. A long time is like 2 years. So yeah, if you like carving, if you like trees, I'd probably recommend a directional shape. So a snowboard that maybe has a slightly longer nose than tail. And also maybe a board that is like mid flex. So something that's like a 5 or 6 of stiffness. So something that is going to, because you like carving, that stiffer flex is going to help you hold your carving edge. And if you haven't been snowboarding a couple of years, then maybe a board that has a combination of camber and rocker. So camber, the majority of the board, and then as you get towards the contact points or like the widest part of the snowboard, you start to get some rocker through those zones. And that combination of camber and rocker will make it a bit more forgiving, like easier to initiate a turn, a bit more catch free when you're finishing turns. So that's kind of like will help you in that intermediate style of turning, having those rocker zones towards the contact points. So yeah, something that's mid flex, that'll be good for carving. Some camber that rockers out around the contact points to make it a bit more of an easy ride. And I think if you like trees and carving too, it's like something that has a slightly longer nose than tail. I think that would be a good combo for you. Lewis is in England. It's 12:40 in England. I like how he gave it to me in the digits like that. Loic is looking for a video on K2 clickers. Yeah, that's a possibility. Would like to check out some of those clickers. Yeah, Chewy saying, I finally learned my switch riding. I'm going to Cardi's tomorrow to do a whole switch day. Awesome. Well, apart from getting on and off the lifts. I mean, you could do switch off the lifts as well. I mean, that's like a really next level, but if you want to fully commit, after you do, like the first time doing the chairlift switch is definitely awkward, but each time after that, it gets easier and easier. Once you get through that first one, switch on the chair is not too bad. So if you want to do a complete switch day, you could try it out. But that's a really good goal to do a full switch day like that, even if you're doing it on the slopes. Kyle says, thoughts on the Burton Hometown Hero. Yeah, I know it's a very popular board. I know a lot of friends that ride that board and love it. and I think it's floats well in powder. It's got that smaller tail, longer nose shape, and I believe that it's got some rocker towards the nose too, helping it to float in powder. So kind of like a good all mountain free ride snowboard, something that's going to be good if you like exploring the whole mountain. I don't think it's that freestyle friendly for like inside the terrain park necessarily. So, but if you want that board that can kind of explore the mountain and all that, then the Hometown Hero is a really fun one. Nick's watching from, I think that's Minnesota. We got Nesolia watching from LA. Loic is in Canada. Hope I'm saying your name right. Will saying last few days at Cardrona have been awesome. Snow's getting slushy. Okay, cool. Hopefully it doesn't get slushy too quick. I know spring's coming up, but hopefully you guys still get that full winter vibe up until spring arrives. Nesolia is saying you plan to hit up Mammoth or Lake Tahoe next season. Yeah, I would love to. I always love getting down there. Those are some of my favorite places to snowboard. So I don't know my full schedule yet, but if those areas are getting snow, we'll definitely be checking it out. Grant saying, watch your video where you rode with Chris in Canada 5 months ago. It definitely brought back old school vibes. Loved it. Awesome. Yeah, we had some really good trips, Chris and I, this past March. We went to Whitewater, BC, had a couple amazing days there. Also rode with them at Mount Baker in Washington, had an incredible time. So yeah, I love riding with Chris. And yeah, that reminds me, I should actually connect with him and maybe start making some plans so that we can do some more days like that. Luke says, what's y'all's helmet combo? Is it like Anon goggles with Smith helmet, or is it gyro helmet with Anon goggles? I've done both. I think I prefer the Smith helmet. I think the Smith helmet just fits my head a little bit better, and it's got the dial for it's almost like the BOA dial at the back. So I think Smith helmet works a bit better for me, but I like the gyro helmet as well, and they both fit well with the Anons. Turning Board says, what mountain do you plan on going for opening day? That's a really good question. That's a super good question. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, it's been on my mind today, actually, thinking about where I'd like to be for opening day. How about you guys? What is going to be what's your destination for your first day of snowboarding? Let me know in the comments here. Luke says, also, is a flat all mountain snowboard still good for a bit of carving? Yeah, a flat board can still give you some good carving for sure. And flat boards, like flat camber snowboards, definitely lean more towards intermediate as well. So they're going to be a bit more forgiving, not as catchy or aggressive. So yeah, if you have a board you got your eye on that is flat camber, like flat to rocker, that could be a good one too, especially for like that intermediate style of riding. It's not going to be too aggressive like full camber sometimes can be, and a bit easier to turn too, especially if you're taking it into the trees and stuff. Flat camber can be a little bit easier to maneuver. Kyle says he's got an Anon helmet with Dragon goggles. This year's plan getting Anon with new Sandbox helmet. Oh, very cool. Nice. Sandbox. Bryce says just picked up 23-24 Red Union Stratas. Awesome, Bryce. Yeah, I've got some, these bindings right here are Stratas. I rode them all last season for everything, for park, for POW, and yeah, they're great. So stoked that you got this year's version. Thinline Media says you're going to ride one lift for 3 weeks in Gulmarg. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's other things to do out there too, like some backcountry, maybe a heli trip. Yeah, who knows? We're gonna go exploring. Like, how long would you go to Gulmarg for, Thin Line Media, or have you already been there? Do you have any advice? Um, but I mean, it's such a long way to go. I definitely want to, especially for the weather. I want to give it like a good window for weather. So that's why we're making it 3 weeks. Search of Snowboarding is on here. What's up, man? It says, just starting to think about winter and shredding. Just figured out my gear for the season. Interested to see what bindings you got. Yeah, man, I'm excited too. Yeah, I got the box here. We'll open these shortly. But search for snowboarding. What's your setup for this season? Yeah, I was checking out some of your videos, I think from last year, and you got some like limited edition bindings and snowboard. And I mean, I feel like you're kind of on the inside too, with like being in the shop and knowing everything that's coming out. I'd be interested to know what you got. Or is that a video coming soon? We might have to wait for your video. Shasky says Smith helmet all the way. Kyle, the MIPS gel helmets are so comfortable. Flagger Gasser says Mammoth or Bear. I mean, two very different mountains. Mammoth, I think, is a bit more fun for like exploring, lots of different runs, lots of different chairlifts. You know, like that bigger mountain vibe that you can do a lot of different riding. And Bear is like that more intimate, fun mountain, great for park. You can still do a bit of exploring at Bear too. I mean, both are great. I would say, yeah, it's hard to choose one, but yeah, Mammoth is great for the size, and then Bear is great for the park and the fun vibe at Bear. Kyle says my home mountain is just 2.5 hours away. Snowshoe Mountain in West Virginia. Awesome, man. And Nasolia says Mammoth opening day is November 10th. Wow, that's pretty cool. How do they know? How do they know it's going to be November 10th? That's super early. Shaysky says I've got Maze MIPS, super warm and comfortable. Nice. All right, we got Bad Riders dropping the super chat. Awesome, Adam. Thank you for the support, man. Adam says, shout out to the gear advice. Just bought the Maze this morning and loving it. Nice. You're missing out, Kev, on some fresh clips. Some fresh clips are coming. Also, members chat topic. Favorite park to ride and why you love it. DWCP. Awesome, Adam. Yeah, really good topic. Yeah, so Adam just reminded me, if you guys want to join the bonus chat that I do right after this one, become a member of the channel. There's a link probably just below this video somewhere where you can join, become a member. There's a bunch of great perks on there. There's a lot of members only content, like the members only chat. Also, if you guys have any videos that you guys want me to watch back and give you some feedback on your riding, you can do that within the members area. So that's some pretty cool perks there. But yeah, Adam, thanks for the support, man. And yeah, we will definitely discuss our favorite parks and why you love it. That's good. That's a good topic, man. But yeah, so appreciate the support, Adam. Search of Snowboarding says, I'll be rocking Capita Aeronaut with the new Forces and Mega Split with FC Chargers, which I am super hyped on. Awesome, man. That's really cool. Oh, you get the Mega Split. That's such a, man, that should be amazing. That should feel super good. Yeah, and I saw if you guys want to see like a review on the Capita Aeronaut, check out Search of Snowboarding's channel. He's got a really good review on that board over there. Hopefully I get to check out that board this fall. That'd be super fun. Thinline Media is saying, I thought of going to Gulmarg, but it's just not worth it for me. Used to ski in Europe with hundreds of lifts in a single resort. I would prefer to explore India without snowboarding instead. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you know, India is such a cool country that you could, spend tons of time just exploring India itself. Yeah, the resort is going to be interesting. I mean, in my head, it doesn't matter how many lifts there are. It could be one lift, it could be 10 lifts. It's all about the quality of the runs that it gets you to and the whole vibe of the place too. So I'm excited to check it out. There's been resorts that I visit and I only ride one lift like the whole week. And so yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Plus it's got the world's like highest gondola. So that should be interesting. And all the backcountry access and everything like that should make it, I'm sure we won't get bored there. Oh, Bad Riders saying hit the like button, guys. Absolutely. We got 34 people watching, 10 likes. And yeah, thank you guys so much for that support already. Super Jimothy saying, yo, thoughts on the Jones Tweaker? Yeah, the Tweaker looks like a really fun park board. I haven't had the chance to ride it myself, but yeah, that could be one checking out. I know, Jones makes quality snowboards, so checking out the Tweaker could be super fun. Nathan, do you have any thoughts on Mount Washington in BC? I've never been to Mount Washington, but yeah, I know it's on Vancouver Island and it looks like a really cool place. It looks like a small, intimate, but like great resort. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that out someday. Michael, snowboarding out west has gotten so expensive. Any tips for saving money on gas, lift tickets, accommodation? For sure. Like whenever I do a trip, I mean, first, if you can get a season pass that covers, like season passes in general make it cheaper, especially if you're going to go enough times. Like if you're going snowboarding, like say more than 7 or 8 times a season, and if a lift ticket, a day lift ticket is like $150, but the season pass is $1,000, then going for the season pass option can save you money. Even though like $1,000 is still a lot of money, but in the end, if you're going multiple times, then season pass can be the way to go. I mean, saving gas, if you can, there's shuttles that go out to resorts. So if you can get a shuttle, that can be huge. Or if you can just get a group of people together, group of friends, and then you guys can split the gas money. And then in terms of accommodation, for me, like I usually try to check like multiple websites. If I'm going on a trip where, I need accommodation, I might check Airbnb, I'll check booking.com. I might check a few other websites and just try and compare all options and just figure out what's going to be the cheapest per night. And yeah, if you can get 3 friends together and you get say like a place for $150 a night, then it's like $50 each per night for the place. Then you're splitting gas, and then if you have the lift ticket already, that can save a lot of money. And then on top of that, like you can definitely eat at the mountain, but if you want to save money too, you can just pack a lunch or eat before you go riding, and then when you get back afterwards, you can eat again. So a few ways to save money for sure. Just trying to do things with friends, getting those season passes and just exploring all options. Alex says, love the vid on 5 brand new boards. I'm thinking about getting the Hovercraft 2.0 as a POW board for this season. Awesome, man. Yeah, the Hovercraft 2.0 looks really cool. Yeah, I like what they've done with like the extra 3D in the nose, the contours in the tail. It looks like a really interesting snowboard. I've been talking to Jones, so they might send me one of those boards out. So if I get my hands on one, I'll definitely make some videos on the board for you guys, and really just try to put it to the test in some interesting conditions. Maybe bring it to India, who knows? But yeah, the Hovercraft 2.0 looks awesome. Bad Riders, hey Kev, any tips for speed and spring slush? Your turning tips have come in super handy. I mean, that spring slushy conditions, having your board waxed and scraped and having like wax specific to the slush, I find that helps me get speed for sure, just having the right wax on the board. And then I find myself in slush too, just pointing it straight a lot more and just kind of using your tail like a rudder. So just kind of when you need to, spraying a bit of the slush back and forth. But there's a lot more just like straight flat riding in slushy snow and then just mushing the snow around with your tail. But and then I know slush can create some big bumps in the snow too, but using your knees to just absorb all that. Also, like through slush, you're definitely riding more towards your tail. So the nose, if you're too far nose heavy, then your nose can definitely kind of get slowed down in the slush and you can go forward. So I definitely find myself more on my back foot through slushy conditions. Vertigo says, get the Epic Pass by Thanksgiving. Saves you tons, even if only going for a day or two. Nice. Yeah, if you can get the Epic Pass, I mean, you got to go more than a day or two, but if you go for enough days, then it pays for itself pretty quickly. So yeah, if you live someplace near where there's an Epic Pass resort, you can definitely get your money's worth, I think, pretty quickly. Adventurer Carlo is on here. Yo, what's up, Carlo? Thanks for hopping on, man. Thinline Media says, cool, I will check from your videos then if it's worth it in India. Almost nobody has any good content from there. Yeah, that's true. Kind of a funny story. I was trying to do some research on the resort in Gulmarg, and I found this, and it was really hard to find any video with like, people showing the mountain. There are some like good stuff. There's some good videos on Instagram, like short clips and stuff, but nothing really long form. But me and my friends were like looking at some videos from Gulmarg, and we came across these guys from India who were going on a trip, and they seemed like they were documenting the whole thing. And it got to a point in the video where the guy was like doing selfie stick down the slope, and then he cut from himself riding with the selfie stick to a clip from my video where we went heliboarding in Whistler, and he just like inserted my heliboard clips into his video in Gulmarg, and the video would kind of go back and forth, like from him riding selfie stick mode down the mountain in Gulmarg, and then it would cut to like some Whistler video heli trip videos from my YouTube channel. So that was like hilarious to see that. I left him a comment and just like kind of like saying that it was funny and that it was a good video. But yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, there's not very many videos, long form videos out there about Gulmarg. So hopefully you can make some and really expose the world to what India has to offer up there. So that should be super fun. So Bad Rider says, we just had a price rise on our Epic Pass. Was $8.99 but now it's $9.59 if purchased early. Yeah, yeah, everything is going up in price a little bit. It's definitely tough, making it tougher. But yeah, there's ways to kind of get around that or like save money in other places. Yo, Devin says, just get off work. Happy Friday, y'all. Awesome. What's up, Devin? The Black Zionist says, Shabbat Shalom. I'm here checking in from the hashtag DMV, hashtag ride snowboards. Awesome, man. You're checking in from the DMV. Awesome. What's up? Do you work there? Is that where you work, at the DMV? Or is that a joke? I can't tell. Bad Rider says, yeah, I found a super sticky spot on the cat track, but that prompted me to practice ollies. Nice, man. Kyle says, when you're turning out, some quick, snappy powder turns, and it will lock you in like a rut on a dirt bike. Yeah, I guess I've never really ridden dirt bikes. I don't know what that feels like, but yeah, man, riding powder is super fun though. Vertigo says they sell day passes up to 7 days also instead of a season pass. Yeah, if you know you're only going to be going a limited number of days, buying like a package of passes ahead of time can definitely save you some money too. Adventurer Carlos says, you guys had the most craziest powder day at Palisades this year. Yeah, it was wild with El Stacker came out with the guys from Australia. Yeah, we had like a wild day at Palisades. Adventurer Carlo, hopefully you get some good snow at Bogus Basin this winter, man. Maybe I'll see you out there at some point. All right. Grant Bayer says, "Where can I get a hat like yours, Kevin?" Oh, this Snowboard Pro Camp hat. I don't have many of these left, but I could possibly put them online. Grant, yeah, to be honest, they're not for sale because I don't have many left. But man, if I ever run into you, Grant, you can just have them for free. Where do you live, man? Maybe there's a chance we'll run into each other. Chewy says, "What's the best GoPro to use for snowboarding?" I mean, any of the like recent GoPros, so like any GoPro from like the last, say like 5 or 6 years, those have all been great. So I would say if you've got one of those, they'll work great for snowboarding. Lewis says, "Hey Kev, I assume all boards come pre-waxed, but whenever you get new boards, would you wax them before hitting the slopes?" It kind of depends. Like if you get a brand new snowboard, typically they do all come waxed, but sometimes you look at the base of a new board and it'll like look dry. So it'll kind of have that kind of like whitish gray kind of look to it. And if it looks like that, I might wax it. But if I get a brand new snowboard and it looks like nice and just kind of like not dry, like kind of it's just got that nice looking base, then I might just leave it and ride it for a day or two without waxing it. But yeah, if it has any kind of like look to it, like it may have been just dried out a little bit, then I might wax it before going. Also, depending on like what type of snowboarding I'm going to be doing. So if it's like a powder board and it's right before a big powder day, then I might actually like wax it ahead of time just to make sure. But yeah, you never know. I think it's always kind of personal preference, but yeah, most of the time you don't have to wax it for the very first day. But yeah, I've been hanging out talking to you guys. I think I might open this package from Union. So maybe I'll tilt the camera down a little bit. Gonna get a quick drink. All right. So let's do this unboxing. I forgot scissors, but it should be okay. All right, let's check this out. Yeah, big shout out to Union for sending out this massive box. Oh, you got the double, it's the biaxial, 2 different directions. All right, we're getting in here. Okay. Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's fix this a little bit. Awesome. All right, so we got some stickers. This is pretty sweet. Got some Union stickers for the board. We have got, let's see what this center pack is. All right, so we got the Union Forces. Let's open this guy up, if we can. Actually, let's take it one by one. We've got the Union Atlas. All right, we got the Atlas as well. And then these guys. are the Union Ultra Deep Blue. Okay, let's get rid of the box for a second. Maybe I can do it this way. Turn the box. Go back up here. All right, let's open up these Ultras. So the Ultra is kind of like the newer freestyle binding from Union. They came out last year. I haven't had the chance to ride them yet, but these have been like super popular. We got a bunch of hardware here, all the discs and nuts and bolts and everything. And if you guys have any requests for like videos you want me to make with these bindings, definitely hit me up. Okay. Oh, these bindings come in like nice little socks here, nice little protectors. Ooh wee. Oh, nice. Oh wow, yeah, I really like this this color. And it's almost like an electric purple. Very cool color. Let's get the other one out too. Ooh. So a few years ago, I actually had the chance to visit the Union factory in Italy. So yeah, I got to see where the kind of the brains of Union, where everything is planned and some of the manufacturing and everything. So that was an incredible experience. If you guys get the chance, definitely check out that video. All right, let's close this box up. Let's turn these guys. Here we go. 1 second. Okay, sweet. All right, here we go. So we got, yeah, these look super good. I like the way they feel. Ooh, this, oh yeah, these straps feel super good. Oh yeah, these are nice. So the Union Ultras, yeah, this is kind of like Union's freestyle binding. So this looks really small, really solid. It's got the mini disc. The high back definitely feels a little bit firmer than I was expecting. So like a good mid flex. Yeah, the thing I like about Union is just like everything feels like really good quality. And it's got the nice like toe strap there with a bit of the soft webbing right here. So when you put your boot in, you can definitely, you got some harder materials on the outside and it's pretty soft just to like hold your toe in place. And then the ankle strap feels like super solid. The ratchets, they have like a really nice clicking sound. Really, they just feel like very quality. A nice snap to them. And then, yeah, this material is, the one thing with like bindings is you really want them to be like you want the performance, but you also want the comfort to hold your snowboard boot in like comfortably. And I do really like this this ankle strap here. This is pretty nice. On the inside, it just has this a bit of like padding to it, so giving you some comfort. Yeah, really cool. Nice, the Union Ultras. I think one thing that makes this binding special too is that it doesn't have a high back adjustment, so, but that angle looks pretty good. It's not like completely zero. Looks like it's got a bit of forward lean naturally. Cool, so yeah, the Union Ultras. Also the base, oh yeah, the base has got some padding too. Oh, and even underneath here, is pretty soft. Oh wow. Yeah, different kind of binding. Definitely some upgrades on this thing compared to anything else I've ridden. Sweet. Yeah, this looks really nice. I'll put links if you guys want to check out any of these bindings. I'll put links in the description so you guys can check them out too. So yeah, that's the Ultra. Let's check out. Yeah, I really like this color too. That it's kind of like electric bluish purple look. That's pretty nice. All right, let's see if we have any comments. If you guys have any comments about those bindings, let me know. Kata says, bought my first Union bindings a year ago because of you. Awesome, man. Yeah, I hope you like them. Yeah, I've been riding them for years. Super good bindings. Kata says, oh, you got the Union STRs. Nice. Search of Snowboarding says, the rolled base edge is wild on those Ultras. I don't even know what that is. Rolled base edge. Okay, cool. Rolled base edge. Oh, kind of like, is it the way that the base is kind of connected to your board here? It does have like this kind of 3D groove. I wonder if that's what it is. All right, Ride Vibe says, thinking about kicking the season off in Breck. Yeah, Breckenridge could be a good option. All right, let's open the Atlas. The Atlas next. All right. So the Union Atlas are more of a like free ride binding. They're definitely stiffer. Got all the hardware here. Stiffer binding, more made for like riding powder, dropping cliffs, carving. So you don't have to be, taking these guys outside of the groomed runs. You can definitely use these guys for carving because of that stiffness. I've had these bindings quite a few times as well, and yeah, they're one of my favorites too. Much stiffer binding, more like advanced for advanced riders, or if you're like an intermediate rider who just is really into carving and maybe going off of the groomed runs and into some powder areas. So we got the bindings. They've still got their socks on. Let's take them out of here. Ooh, these look really cool too. So one thing I noticed already is the straps on these guys are a different style. So it's sort of a different webbing on there to hold your boots in place. Definitely look like they're going to be good, like comfortable straps. There's a little bit more weight to these guys as well. So with that little bit more weight, that's also what's going to give you that extra support for riding with speed, or for just giving you that extra bit of stiffness to like ride out a landing of something big, of like a cliff or a big jump. Cool. So yeah, these Atlases, they feel super solid. Definitely firmer everywhere. So yeah, the base of this binding is much firmer. Yeah, so giving you that. Also with the firmer binding, like any movements you put into the binding are going to be transferred a lot faster into your board as well. So more precise movements. So taking like a binding like this into the terrain park, you're like a bit of a toe initiation. It's really going to put you onto your toes. So much like quicker and faster, and like more of your energy transferred directly into your board. The high back is definitely stiffer too. Stiffer and thinner, a bit thinner than the Ultras. There's a really cool dial on the back of this as well. So I'm going to assume that dial is for adjusting the high back. I feel like, yeah, with like higher, stiffer bindings for carving, you definitely need some high back adjustment. So this is, I've never seen this, but okay. So you got the dial here, which I'm assuming is for adjusting your high back. And it is. So as I'm rolling this wheel, you have this part coming out. So let's set it to max and see what that does. So you got the numbers 0, 1, 2, 3. So I guess there's like there's 5 different adjustments. So this one's set to +5 on the high back. This one is still at 0. And I mean, it's kind of hard to show you guys, but let's see if I can do it here. That's at +5, and then this is at 0. So you can kind of tell that it's, yeah, you can see it right there. So this one is more straight up and down. And then this one is the one that I cranked to +5. So cool high back adjustment. But the other thing that really stands out about these bindings is the ankle straps here. They've got a really cool mesh. So gonna like 3D hold your boot into place. And yeah, they just feel very flexible. Like they're gonna 3D mold to your boot as you crank it on. But yeah, that's totally different binding feel compared to the Ultras. These guys are like the aggressive powder, free ride, advanced expert level binding. But yeah, I really like this added dial they've added to the high back. That's super cool. It's easy to turn, adjust. So yeah, we got the Atlases here. Let's get a quick drink. Which ones would you guys go for? Would you go for the Ultras or the Atlas? Let me know in the comments. See what you guys are saying. All right, we got Ride Vibes saying smash the like button. Awesome, thank you, Ride Vibes. Anna's saying, are you in Tahoe this winter? I don't know if I'm going to be based in Tahoe again, but we'll definitely make a trip out there, especially if you guys are getting the snow. Ride Vibe says, Tahoe looks like the dream. Yeah, it's incredible out there. Lake Tahoe is a super special place. Chewy says, I was looking at getting those bindings. Yeah, I think you're probably talking about the Atlas here. Yeah, definitely good for carving, for POW, for aggressive riding, for speed. Trippy says, are the Union Forces good? Yeah, let's find out. So they did send me some Forces as well. So I got some right here. Let's open up the Forces. And for sizing on these bindings, so my boot size is a 9.5. So I've gone medium on all these bindings. And I think, I don't know the sizes exactly, but I think medium is good until size, it might be 10.5 or 10.5, maybe double check. I think it's between maybe 7.5 to like 10 is medium, and anything above 10 is a large, and anything below 7.5 is small. Double check that size, but last season I did ride a large Union binding. I had the Stratas, and they still fit well with my 9.5 boots. So there is some crossover there, but it's always good to double check. All right, so let's open up the Forces and check them out. All right, we got more hardware. Let's put that off to the side for now. Oh, excuse me. All right, so we got the forces here. So I've ridden the forces for a few years as well, and they've also been very solid bindings. To be honest, I'm not sure how the forces land between the Ultras and the Atlas. I think these might be in between, so they're not as freestyle focused as the Ultras, but they're also not as kind of aggressive as the Atlas are. I think they're kind of like that in between. All right. So the first thing I'm noticing is that the forces have definitely had a redesign to them. So they look definitely different in a lot of just small ways. It looks like the high back has a slightly different shape. But yeah, I really like this kind of the shape they got going on there. They've got some, let's see how the high back feels. Yeah, it's more of like a mid-flexing high back. So more like the Ultras, but you get a bit of a grip here. You also get the ankle strap is definitely not as soft as the Ultras, but it is kind of a little bit more. It still feels like it's going to be a comfortable and like it's going to be able to mold nicely to your boot. And then yeah, the base of the binding is definitely got some cushion to it. And I think the old forces were a little bit stiffer in terms of the base and that cushion. So now you get a little bit more cushion to it. So a little bit more. So any impacts or vibrations coming up through your board, I think the force is going to kind of mitigate that and kind of help to smooth out the ride and make it a lot more comfortable. Nice, yeah, these are super cool. I like how they've added this bit of design with the white on the side. Yeah, super nice. And I think, yeah, across all of these bindings, there's definitely, everything definitely feels like real quality. So, and the forces have a different high back adjustment, so they don't have the dial wheel. They have this more traditional, just pop that lever and then adjust that like that. And then, oh, and then this way, or no, that way. That way? Yeah, and then you just pop it back on, or is it that way? Boom. So yeah, really easy high back adjustment. Let's see if I can get it back to where it was. Aha, there you go. So yeah, this thing just pops open, slides, you can tighten it, and then boom. So yeah, I really like bindings where the high back is easy to adjust, because if you have to make any adjustments like on the mountain, it's much nicer to be able to do it without any fuss. But yeah, the forces look pretty sweet, sort of in between the Ultras and the Atlas. So maybe a good all mountain binding, something if you're not going into the park as much and just cruising the groomers. But at the same time, you don't need that like real stiff binding. This is kind of like that good in between. So yeah, stick this guy up here as well. Yeah, big shout out to Union for sending all of these out. We'll definitely be busy, maybe getting some videos out for you guys about these bindings. And I have the Stratas as well. So I've got 4 different pairs of Unions to compare now. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Which ones would you guys go for of the 4 of all the different styles? Maybe we can line these guys up. Actually, it's kind of cool having them all mismatched, I guess. Sweet. All right, let's see what people are saying. Grant says Forces would be my go-to. Awesome, man. Yeah, the Forces are definitely sort of that more do everything kind of binding. There we go. Kyle is saying the new mesh toe and heel strap look amazing. Yeah, they're looking pretty nice. Kyle says, Lewis, I have the 2019 carbon union bindings. They are amazing with titanium buckles on the straps. Amazing. Chewy says, I was going to get a whole new setup, but just going to wait a few years because I'm in school. Then fingers crossed, I'm heading off to the Air Force. So I'll just use secondhand stuff. Yeah, good plan until then. Yeah, once you're done school and all your studies in the Air Force, then you can like start investing in your own stuff, or more expensive stuff. Lewis says, I'd go for the Atlas so far based on them having the high back adjustment. Yeah, this like dial high back adjustment right there, that is a pretty cool feature. Yeah, I think the idea with the unions and not having the high back adjustment is it's just a bit more of a mellow freestyle ride, so not overly aggressive, so not having that forward lean on the high back. Cromet, what is your opinion on the Ultra? I mean, I haven't gotten the chance to ride them yet, but I think the style of them is really cool. The straps look super comfortable. Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, they're not overly soft, so still like gonna give you some support, but a bit softer for freestyle. And yeah, they look like they're gonna be really good for the park. So I'll have to test them out. And yeah, the softness of the base is pretty nice too. I think gonna make for a very like cruisy ride. Yeah, comfortable for the park. Yeah, really nice design there. Mark says, I've always rode Burton bindings, have wanted to try unions, but I love my cartels. Is it worth it to make the switch? I mean, if you're due for some new bindings, it's always a good idea to check out different stuff. But it depends. Like if you love the cartels, maybe stick with those. But you know, if your heart isn't set on them, you can always give something else a try. You can always like demo different bindings too. So if you like get a demo board for the day, maybe you can try out a different set of bindings and just compare. Yori says, I have the Ultras and they are awesome for free riding. Nice, man. Oh, so you can take them like free riding too. Okay. Trippy says, I'm stuck between the Forces and the Ultras. Oh, wow. I mean, I would say maybe Forces if the majority of your riding is outside the park. But if the majority of your riding is inside the park, maybe go for the Ultras. Evan wants to know, are your faves still the Stratas? I mean, I do still love the Stratas, rode them all last season. I'll have to see. I mean, I haven't tried. So, I mean, in terms of like a POW day, I think the Atlases take it. These are probably, the best of the bunch for like a POW day. But for the park, Stratas versus, I would say maybe I'll have to compare the Stratas and the Ultras to see which ones are better for the park. Evan says, coming from the Forces, I like how the Stratas are slightly softer. Okay, interesting. Good to know. Yeah, let's do like a little weight test here too. So yeah, the Forces, the Ultras, and the Atlas. So in terms of weight, the Ultras are definitely the lightest. So yeah, this one's the lightest, then the Forces, and then the Atlas. I imagine that goes with like the stiffness too. So the most flexible, mid-flex, and then stiffest. Although the Ultras aren't that soft. They are a little soft. The Forces are pretty similar. And then the Ultras, the high back at least gets stiff. All right. Well, awesome, guys. Been on here for an hour. It was awesome talking to y'all. If you guys want to come over to the bonus chat over in the members section, hit that join button and you can come talk to us. I think the main topic we're going to discuss terrain parks and where our favorite park is. But yeah, thank you guys for hopping on here for the hour to talk to me. It's been fun going through these bindings and doing the unboxing. But yeah, hope you guys are having a good start to your season and getting prepared and all ready to go. For everyone in New Zealand, I'll see you guys there in a couple weeks. Can't wait to get down there. But yeah, awesome talking to you guys. Have a great weekend. I'll also put links to all these bindings in the description if you guys want to check them out. Thanks again, guys. Have a good weekend. Talk to you next Friday. Later.